This is a message for every single person who has remained silent while Palestinians are being massacred in the Gaza Strip. Firstly, we know that you see what is happening to Palestinians, and your silence is quite literally deafening. While Palestinians living in the Gaza Strip, and I don't use this word lightly, are literally living in an extermination camp, you can't spare one post on your Instagram story or one post on your feed talking about what's happening. You can't check up on your Palestinian friends and say, hey, I hope you're doing okay while your people are being bombed, besieged, and colonized. How many more Palestinian children have to be massacred until we can get a spot on your Instagram feed? How many lives does a story post cost for you? Maybe 100, 1,000, 4,000? Or maybe we're just too complicated, right? Maybe our death is just too confusing. You can't understand the politics of it, right? Well, here, let me simplify it for you. Palestinians are undergoing a genocide in the Gaza Strip. Palestinians are only dealing with one of the most heinous crimes ever committed in human history. They are watching the world lie about it, and they're watching you remain silent about it. If you don't want to post about what's happening in Palestine because you're afraid of losing followers or being shadow banned, you are beyond privileged. Like, if you don't want to talk about Palestine because you think it's too political, then you literally have lost your humanity. We are witnessing something that is going to be written in the history books. With it, we're going to talk about the people who stood on the wrong side of history. What's almost comical is that it's usually people who pretended to be the biggest activists during Black Lives Matter, Stop Asian Hate, the fight for Aboriginal and Native Americans. But now, during the ongoing Palestinian struggle for liberation and freedom, you're silent. So is your activism only selective? Are you only a social justice warrior when it's aesthetically pleasing for your page or when the hashtag is trending? Because it was never really about justice or freedom for you, right? It was never really about activism. It was always about the persona. It was always about making yourself seem as though you cared about global justice. I need everyone to take a step back from this video and renew your intentions. We stand in solidarity with Palestinians in their ongoing struggle against occupation and apartheid because it is the human thing to do. It is what shows your humanity and your morals. We are people of character, people who stand up during times of injustice. We don't get to pick and choose which lives are worthy of our voice. And if you are speaking up about Palestinians, but your activism is conditional on Palestinians being the perfect victim, if you're only speaking up for Palestinians to speak up for your struggle, then your activism is not activism. This is not a business transaction. I don't speak about your oppression so that you could talk about my dead bodies. Enough has been enough for far too long now. We will and cannot afford to stay silent about the Palestinian struggle. Keep posting, keep talking, keep sharing. Because one day, when we look back at history, we will know that we stood in solidarity for justice and liberation. And we did not cower behind our worldly interests and desires. Please keep Palestine in your prayers. Allah yahmihum wa yansurhum wa yusabbirhum. Ameen.